Good day, everyone. My name is Haroye Tano, and on behalf of our group, welcome to our presentation. Today, we are asking a very simple question that sounds very deep. If critical thinking is so essential to the development, why do even educated people struggle to have it? Critical thinking is carefully analyzing information, questioning assumptions, and reaching conclusions based on evidence, not on emotions or convenience. Our group's central argument is this: the scarcity of critical thinking is not a failure of intelligence, it is a failure of design in our brains, our schools, and our society. I'll hand over to my colleague who will explain why critical thinking is so essential to the development and it's not simple as we all think.
I'm in a person of society.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a person of Michael Sedu Safo. Why does critical thinking matter so much? John Dewey argued back in the late 90s, if I may recall, 1910, that education true purpose is not to fill mind with facts, but to train people to think. A nation of critical thinkers makes better health decisions, builds strong democracy, and drives economic innovation. Yet, the World Economic Forum consistently reports that critical thinking is among the skills and employees need most and find least in graduates. They confirms that is the problem is real. It is a global and has serious consequences for development. Thank you.
I go by the name Opoku Lydia, and today I am here to talk about why people don't think critically, even the educated ones. According to two smart teachers, says that critical thinking is more than just being clever. It's about having right attitude. The attitude means being ready to follow what is true, even when it hits you or you dislike it. A real critical thinker is someone who changes their mind when the facts say so, not even when their feelings say so. That is why even many educated people fail. They know how to argue with others, but they don't know how to use that same critical thinking, even when they are wrong.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Yaoswansa. The first barrier to critical thinking is not society or school. It is your own brain. Daniel Kahneman, in his book Thinking Fast and Slow, describes two systems of thinking, with system one being fast, automatic, and effortless. It is your brain's autopilot, making snap judgments. But system two, on the other hand, is slow, deliberate, and effortful. This is where critical thinking actually happens. The problem is that system 2 is exhausting, so the brain avoids it whenever possible. We evolved to make quick decisions and energy-saving decisions, not to conduct careful analysis. Without deliberate effort, most of our thinking runs on autopilot. Okay, now that we know our brain works in two different ways, let's make it real. Think of a moment where quick thinking feels natural but can trick you. For example, we are standing at the edge of a busy road in Kumasi. System 1, which is the first autopilot. You glance left then right. Nothing seems to move, so you step forward almost without thinking. It feels easy and automatic because your brain is saving energy by trusting the quick look. But System 2, on the other hand, you stop, you look again more carefully. You spot a motorcycle hidden behind a car or a trotro, about to rush out. That pause, that extra effort saves you from danger. This shows that System 1 gives speed and misses detail, while System 2 takes effort but keeps you safe. The problem is that our brain loves the easy and fast way, and that is why even amongst educated people, they find it difficult to think critically.
Thank you. My name is Maggie Kopiti, and I'm here to talk to you about the two thinking traps that makes critical thinking very difficult, even for the smarter and the educated ones. One is confirmation bias. This is where we look for what proves us right and leave everything else. Let me make it simpler for you. Example, I love chocolate ice creams and I eat it a lot, and Amma comes to tell me, oh, vanilla ice creams are the best. Because I don't confirm or don't approve to it, I wouldn't really listen to it. Yes, that is confirmation bias. Some problems of it are it stops us from learning and it distorts our view from the reality. The second one is Dunning-Kruger effect. This refers to the lesser you know, the more confident you are. Have you realized most human beings have this with them? Yes, let me give you an example. A first year student, first week into his course, confidently debates his or a lecturer, not realizing the professor has 20 years of experience teaching and training people in that course.
Can also affect their ability to challenge assumptions and make well-reasoned decisions.
Hello, I'm Sedam Adom, and I'm here to speak on how social barriers and echo chambers obstruct the way of critical thinking. It has been proven by research conducted by Solomon Ash back in 1950 that a person would rather follow the general perspective or the mass opinion rather than think critically about the situation. For example, if a large number of people are going to vote for a specific SRC president based on their personal relationship with him, it's going to influence more people to vote for that particular person instead of thinking critically about the impact that person is going to have on society. This attitude has been further amplified by the use of social media, where the algorithms are designed to show you specifically the ideas that you already agree with, rather than making you think critically and come up with new and constructive perspectives. Thank you.
A degree gives you knowledge, but not the wisdom to apply it, which is why even highly educated people can still be misled or make poor decisions. True critical thinking comes from curiosity, questioning things, and being open to being wrong, none of which are formally taught in most classrooms. Education is a great tool, but it does not automatically make you a deeper thinker.
My name is Caleb Asare. The good news is that these barriers were built by human decisions and can be dismantled by better ones. Real reforms matter most. First, teach reasoning explicitly from an early age. Matthew Libman's Philosophy for Children program has proven this works. Second, reform assessments to reward the quality of reasoning, not just correct answers. When marks follow thinking, students will prioritize thinking. Third, build a culture of intellectual humility, where changing your mind based on evidence is seen as strength, not weakness, and where media literacy teaches citizens to question sources and resist manipulation. These are not idealistic dreams. They are evidence-based recommendations, ready to be implemented. My name is Caleb Asare. The good news is that these barriers were built by human decisions and can be dismantled by better ones. Real reforms matter most. First, teach reasoning explicitly from an early age. Matthew Libman's Philosophy for Children program has proven this works. Second, reform assessments to reward the quality of reasoning, not just correct answers. When marks follow thinking, students will prioritize thinking. Third, build a culture of intellectual humility, where changing your mind based on evidence is seen as strength, not weakness, and where media literacy teaches citizens to question sources and resist manipulation. These are not idealistic dreams. They are evidence-based recommendations, ready to be implemented.
Thank you. My name is Nadia Dakwa Asari, and I am privileged to give the closing of our presentation. We have shown that critical thinking is blocked at every level, by a brain wired for shortcuts, by schools that reward compliance, by societies that punish dissent, and by education systems that confuse credentials with wisdom. Our thesis hold. This is not a failure of intelligence. It is a failure of design. And because it is a failure of design, it can be fixed through better education systems, better assessment, and a better culture. But ultimately, critical thinking begins with one personal decision. The willingness to question not just the world around you, but yourself. Thank you very much. And